Hey, what's up guys? Justin Johnson here. Today I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing a guitar from Bromo Acoustic Guitars. And I've actually never played a guitar from Bromo. I've been getting a lot more requests from people from like beginner guitar players asking about suggestions for, like a first guitar, something that's not going to break the bank, something that's going to be pretty affordable. This model, what I know about it already, I've basically seen it on Amazon, and it lists for about $4.99 USD. So it's a pretty, it's a pretty affordable guitar. But the thing that kind of made me really interested in doing the review, especially having never heard of them before, was the fact that everything about this guitar made it look like a much nicer guitar than what you would expect for $4.99. Well, let's do it. Let's go ahead and get into this box and see what this guitar is all about. All right, let's check this baby out. Really beautiful. It's really ornate. It's got this satin finish all over the guitar. The frets are nice and polished. I mean, right off the bat, it's just like, it's hitting me with abalone everywhere. I mean, there's this purfling around the sides, and then there's actually this really tasteful ebony on the inside of that rosette right there. Look at this too. So the binding around the sides is, when you get to the back and sides, is like a flame maple binding, which again, very classy, really good use of the woods too. And the back and sides are solid ebony. So solid spruce top, solid sides and back, those are ebony. And then again, everywhere you have this flame maple binding. It just looks super classy. There's even an abalone logo inlaid on the back of the heel right here. Just a lot of intricate work. You can see it's a 5-ply neck. So the neck back here is mahogany, but then it has these ebony stripes going through it. And the finish all around is satin. It's really classy. It feels really good. It feels really organic. This bridge too is pretty ornate. I believe the bridge pins too are ebony, and they have like a abalone and brass aesthetic ornamentation on there. Just really tight. I mean, everything looks well done. They're enclosed tuners. It's pretty amazing that they managed to get such nice looking woods, such an ornate kind of look. That's a lot of time that goes into these details and a lot of expense that goes into things like solid woods on a guitar like this and these kinds of tone woods. I really am impressed by how they managed to get all of this in a guitar like this at this price. So let me play it a little bit, see what it sounds like. And right now I'm just going through this microphone. I haven't plugged it in yet. It does have a Fishman sonotone pickup, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But let me just play a little bit just with this microphone right here. Punchy, man. It has that solid wood tone. That's how I would describe it. It does not sound like a budget guitar at all. It actually has some nice girth and some nice low end and bass to the tone also. I think it's the ebony on this. I think it's the ebony back and sides. They have a nice crisp, active sort of low end to them, a good bass response. Let me try it with a pick right here. I'm gonna do some strumming and just kind of get a feel for some of the different ways that this guitar reacts. Got a nice balanced attack, really responsive, you know, and again, I keep mentioning the solid woods because I think that's one of the things that right off the bat I'm impressed by, and it translates to the tone really well. That's why solid woods are always, you know, generally found in higher end guitars, is because they have a more active and a more organic and a more woody, articulate attack. They have more sustain, and you can really get the sense of that with this guitar. You can really feel the solid woods in there. It's got a really solid sustain to it. Yeah, so far, just super impressed by this. Really wouldn't put this guitar at the $499 price point. If I didn't know how much it cost, I would think that just looking at it, playing it briefly, I would probably put it around, you know, the $800 to $1,000 level, I'd say, just off the top of my head. It really is a well-built guitar. All right, so it is an acoustic electric guitar, and like I said, it's got that Fishman sonotone pickup inside. And so let me plug that in, and let's get a feel for how that sounds. You know, the more I play this, the more I'm impressed by it. It really is a killer guitar, especially for the price. But honestly, again, like if I didn't know this was $499, I would really think it was probably double that just by playing it, looking at it, hearing it. It's a killer guitar. When you're first starting to play, it's really important that you have a guitar that you're not going to have to be fighting. But when you start looking at guitars and you're looking in that, like, you know, $500 or less price range, which I think is where a lot of beginners fall, you know, when they're making that first investment, it can be pretty tricky to find a good guitar. Sometimes you'll get a guitar that looks nice, but let's say they cheap out on the tuners, and so you tune it up and you start playing it, but then it's out of tune again halfway through the song. Or, you know, a lot of times guitar companies, when they're trying to make a budget guitar, they cut off the man hours. And so maybe it's a decent guitar, but maybe they didn't do a good setup. They didn't file the nut down right, so the action is too high on the low frets. That's going to throw the tuning out. So when you start fretting notes, it's going to throw the intonation out. And even if you're in tune and your fingers are on the right spots on the fretboard, that guitar is going to be out of tune, and you're not going to know why. You're going to think you're doing something wrong when you're just actually fighting the guitar in the setup. Also with things like tone woods and solid woods compared to laminates. I think a lot of times when laminates are used on the guitar, you can still get projection, you can still get sustain, but you get almost like a plasticky kind of sound. And what's nice about this guitar and these like tone woods and these solid tone woods on the top, the sides, and the back is that you get that classic acoustic guitar tone, and you get the sustain that comes from solid woods. It really sounds, for lack of a better word, it sounds expensive, because generally it is expensive to kind of get all of those ingredients and put them together in the guitar. All in all though, again, really impressed with this guitar. It's awesome. All right, guys, that's it. That's the Bromo BAR 5CE acoustic electric guitar. Thank you for watching. While you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and continue to check out my channel. See you guys next time. You rock.